The presidential debate is 48 hours away, and according to the New York Times, Kamala Harris has been holed up in a hotel room in Pittsburgh since last Thursday with a Donald Trump impersonator. Back in 2016, Hillary Clinton also did debate prep with a Donald Trump impersonator, but guess what? She still lost. Nothing is going to take away from the fact that Kamala Harris has some major deficits. She also has no policies on her website. Now, that being said, I would love to be a fly on the wall with Kamala and the Donald Trump impersonator. She loves to flip-flop. She might think she despises Donald Trump, but after 5 nights together in the honeymoon suite, she might have him feeding her chocolate-covered strawberries. I also just want to say a public apology to Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff. Seeing your wife spend 5 days in a hotel with another man cannot be easy. I imagine the debate prep's going like this. Trump, you're a convicted felon. You've got 34 felony counts, but you want to serve time in the back room. Kamala, why do you need a Trump impersonator? Just come up with some policies, go out there, talk to the people. It took you 40 days to do a sit-down interview on CNN and it was only 18 minutes. Now you need 5 days with the impersonator in a hotel. Get to work. What's gonna happen when you're president and we have a crisis on our hands? Kamalamity did take a few minutes off to visit a local spice store. Maybe she needed some cayenne, some paprika. I wish she took some time to visit the southern border, but I'm not holding out hope. While out shopping for spices, Kamala ran into some women who were quite emotional, they were starstruck, they were crying, and that's okay. Let the waterworks flow. However, I wish Kamala Harris could show the same compassion for the Gold Star families who lost their loved ones during her and Joe Biden's calamitous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, according to some other reporting by Politico, Kamala Harris's team is shaking and quaking because the mics are going to be turned off like the last debate in June. Kamala Harris is so thirsty for another I'm speaking moment, but I have to just say this. I was raised by a strong woman. Either you're speaking or you're not. If you're speaking, you don't have to tell us you're speaking. This isn't rocket science, Kamalamity. One thing I will say about Kamala Harris, though, calling it like I see it, she has this prosecutor background. I could see her making some good points in the debate. Donald Trump, he's doing more informal preparation. He's sitting around with his team, talking about policy. They're throwing out questions. He's not using a Kamala impersonator. I also have to ask, Kamala Harris, she's holed up in a hotel room for 5 days playing dress up, 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know what's going on in there. Joe Biden, where is he? He's the president of the United States. We've got major crises all around the globe. Who is running the country? Now, as I often say, the bar is so low, it's in the 7th ring of hell. The bar is so low, Dobby from Harry Potter couldn't even do the limbo under it. Kamala Harris, she just has to do fine. She has to do okay. I will say this debate is important because most Americans, yes, they've made up their minds about who they want to vote for in November, but the polls, they're not great for Kamala Harris. I've seen better polls at a one-star strip joint on the side of the highway. According to a new New York Times Siena poll out today, 60% of likely voters say they want major change in the country, but the problem is only 25% of likely voters think Kamala Harris is going to bring major change, while 53% think Donald Trump will. Now, I might not be in Mensa, but I understand why only 25% of Americans think Kamala Harris is going to bring major change in Washington, D.C. She's been there for 4 years as Vice President of the United States. She's been a senator. She's been around for decades in the Democratic elite. Also, if Kamala wants to bring major change to Washington, D.C., she's gonna have to tell us we're not psychics, okay? We're not mind readers here. She's gonna have to do more interviews. She's gonna have to tell us in the debate. She's gonna have to come up with some policies for her website. I know that's tough. I know it's tough, Kamala, but you might have to come up with a policy or two. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Kamala Harris, you don't want to be in a group project with her. How are we less than 2 months out from the election and you still don't have a policy section on your website? In the debate, they're going to be like, Kamala, can you name a single policy? And she'll say, look, over there. In the debate, they're going to be like, ma'am, weren't you put in charge of the border and then oversaw the worst immigration crisis in American history? Kamala's going to be like, have you seen my juggling app? Kamala's like, I don't have any policies, but I can touch my tongue to the tip of my nose. All right, my friends, all jokes aside, thanks for liking and following. Drop a comment. Tell me what you're hoping to see in the debate on Tuesday. I will see you on the next one. Bye.